Hello, and thank you for joining me on Aysuga Nigeria Lifestyle channel. My name is Sugar. And well, it's great to be back again doing this. And I had to go back in time. I remember in one of my contents that I actually, produced during COVID-19 pandemic. I remember I promised then that I was going to bring my experience traveling on sea, to somewhere in Delta State called Ugborodo. It's a very tiny island where we have water everywhere, well, coincidentally, that's where my mom hails from. And I had to go there on a trip with the leadership of the Nigeria Football Federation where I work. And it was about the fact that FIFA had said they were going to build a mini football stadium in that particular community. So it was an interesting trip. But because, of course, my schedule has been tight, even after COVID, matches here and there, engagements, I've not been able to do that. So now we'll go back in time. It was an interesting trip from Abuja, arrived in Warri, Delta State, eventually took the trip to the seaside, so to speak, where the seaport, was it a seaport? We should have had that area, waterside, where we boarded, we had security, we passed through a lot of communities. It was interesting, for the first time for me, though I've been, traveling on sea. I think I was in Bonny Island sometime in the past. It's interesting to travel on this kind of journey, and of course on sea.
Yeah, I'm not in the usual place you want to say. Yeah, it looks somewhere like the southern part of Nigeria. Yeah, I'm no more in Abuja as I've landed safely in Delta State, Nigeria. Welcome to Aysuga Nigeria Lifestyle channel. My name is Aysuga. Sugar. And I'm feeling so fly because I'm home. Well, maybe where mom is from, right? My mom from Warri in Delta State, somewhere in Warri South local government area of Delta State. That's around Escrivos, an oil-rich little town. That's where she's actually from. But I'm taking all of us to a place, of course, that is as old as 500 years or more. A town, or can I call it a community? Yes, I can call it a community where we can easily say that we've got oil. The Portuguese at some point settled in that particular community as early as 1588. The French, there was a French settlement also before the British, totally took over, as colonial masters of Nigeria back then. So I'll be taking you from here in Warri, Delta State. It's still, of course, it's still part of Warri, but somewhere very small, but big and mighty. We talk about some things you don't know before. So we're going to cross the sea, and we're also going to discover so many things. So join me in this particular expedition, or you want to say tour, as we check out Ugborodo community, part of Delta State, and find out how beautiful Nigeria is and how big it is, and of course discover what you don't know before about it. So stick around, I'll be right back. Okay, so we're going very close to the sea, where we're going to be boarding all the way to Ugborodo in Warri South local government area. So certainly, we're going for a FIFA goal project. FIFA is trying to locate a pitch in that particular community. It's not very far. Check out the sea. So this place, the Ugborodo, has been existing for over 500 years. Like I said earlier, we've got the Portuguese settled there, the French settled there before finally the British took over. So yeah, this is Nigeria, yeah? The southern part of Nigeria, and we're going to be going via this particular roots. Pray for me, yeah? So, got the leadership of the Nigeria Football Federation, led by Mr. Maju Melvin Pinnick, who is here. General Secretary of the Nigeria Football Federation.
Both of them. These are the owners of this project. No other person. You see, the backlog you are saying is for people to say, let them come and negotiate with this. We don't do that. The governor has said, this is the man in charge, 100%. You know, he was the chairman of the same local government, he was the chairman of the local government. He has been everything those people clamoring to be. So he's in charge 100% of this project. You see, so people should also
Our two gunboats en route to Ugborodo community in Delta State, Nigeria. So certainly you join us on the trip, and I'll be letting you know how it pans out. Still on our way to Ugborodo community, where we're going for the FIFA Forward Goal project put together by FIFA Football Federation, International Football Association. That's across the Nigeria Football Federation, citing FIFA pitch in that community. And of course, part of my vlog right here on Aysuga Nigeria Lifestyle channel. And still, you can see behind me the big one. Yeah, that's trying to really catch the very best. But mangroves and also very wonderful. To the site that will be constructed, and we'll give you information right here on Aysuga Nigeria Lifestyle channel. How your trip now? Welcome. You want to help your career.
Yeah, so when I arrived back in Abuja after that trip, I also had a time out with former governor of Delta State, Governor Emmanuel Uduaghan. And we actually talked about the Chekiri community. We also talked about his time as governor, what he thought he did well, you know, in his 8-year stint as governor of the state, and so many other very interesting, topics in the discussion. So sit back, relax. It's going to be a very, very interesting journey. I hope you're going to ride with me all through, and I hope you find this content amazing. Would you encourage any of your kids, just in 2 lines, if you encourage any of them to aspire to be like their dad, Nigeria in the future, or even be aspiring to run, affairs at Delta State?
First, it has to come from them. I will not deliberately call any of my kids and say, oh, why not take interest in politics or take interest in running for an election and all that. It has to come from them. If it comes from them, and I'll ask one or two questions, the answer they will give me will make me know whether what the path they are going should be encouraged. So it has to come from them. But if it comes from them and I think they require encouragement, I will encourage them. I'm very interested in mentoring young people. That has always been my dream in the office. Now, some of us came into administration without proper mentorship. Sometimes we had to learn on the job, you know. But since 1999, when there was now civilian administration, a lot of us have acquired some experience. Being a commissioner, being a secretary of state government, being a governor, I've acquired some experience that I want to impart to younger people, so that when they take up office, they know at least some things that they should be doing. In terms of taking up office and all that, if the opportunity arises, yes, but it also depends on the office. There are certain offices I would not accept, you know. And if I'm to take up an office, I need an office where I can perform, where I can make an impact, where I can contribute. Because like I keep saying, my state and the country, they have invested a lot in me. And I think I can also give back to society what has been invested in me.
If you want to score yourself, Dr. Emmanuel, what would you say was your biggest decision while in office? Like the biggest thing you know you're proud of now, you have a peace of mind whenever you're in Warri, Asaba, Efrun, Sapele, wherever. You feel cool, and when you're in Abuja, you just know that you're satisfied, that you did something. And maybe you have the biggest regret.
No, I did a lot. I can score myself high in a lot of areas. What I tried to do was to put in different segments all what I wanted to achieve. I mean, when we listed them, there were over 100. You know that, but we needed to put them in boxes so that they are easier to remember and easier to deal with. So we had a box of peace and security because at the time I took over, like I said, I was Secretary of State Government. So I knew a lot that was happening in terms of insecurity. With Chief James Ugborodo doing a lot and I assisting him as Secretary of State Government. We achieved a lot in security area. So when I came, there were still security issues. Of course, it was mainly inter-tribal, and there are some areas intra-tribal. So I had to deal with those security issues until eventually President Uduaghan introduced the amnesty program, which helped a lot. Of course, with our program, we achieved a lot in security. But later, okay, not later, even before I became governor, the issue of kidnapping has started, but it was at a low level, and later the numbers started increasing, both in terms of people becoming kidnappers and people being kidnapped, and sometimes some really very high-profile people were being kidnapped, like Okoje Wilder's mother. You know, was kidnapped in my area. So security was an area in which we did so much. Of course, for the health sector, we also concentrated on the primary health care sector, the state hospitals, general hospitals, specialist hospitals. We improved on the physical infrastructure and the equipping.
You are the first, if I'm not mistaken, governor, you know, and they did a lot, like you've listed. What will be your word to them? Then finally, Would you, with all your experience in government, would you encourage any of your child to aspire to also take that chance in the future?
Well, I would say the Chekiri people as are today, they are more like an endangered species. Unfortunately, because the surrounding neighbors, the crisis with the Jaws in which there was a fight between Ijaw and Shekiri, and of course between Shekiri and Urubus. So you have three ethnic groups, Shekiri fighting with Ijaw, Shekiri fighting with Urubus, or Ijaw fighting with Shekiri, Urubus fighting with Shekiri. That kind of fight that happened for several years caused a lot of friction, a lot of division. And but somehow, Jesse Bori started the peace process by trying to bring three ethnic groups together. It succeeded quite well in doing that, and I had to build on that. So today, the harmony between the three ethnic groups much better than what caused during the crisis.
Wow, I'm sure it's been a fantastic journey. It was really scary going through that long journey to Ugborodo and the community. It was fantastic. Then, of course, the conversation with His Excellency, former governor of Delta State, was also very revealing. I think in one of the few times he has spoken, that happens to be one of them. Talking about his time and very interesting questions about his contribution to the development of Delta State and what he would see as his legacy after he left office years after. But it's interesting to hear our former leaders talk about what they did not do and what they did and what they would have done. Well, fine. Well, thank you for staying with me and thank you for watching. I'll come again with another very hot, wonderful, interesting content very, very soon. And I look forward to reading from you from the comment section. Don't forget to turn on the notification button and hit the like button, and of course follow and subscribe to this channel. I remain Aysuga, sugar, signing off, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.